What if I told you the most important assassin in the entire franchise was once its biggest failure? Before Assassin's Creed became a global hit, before Ezio, before Brotherhood, before the Creed was perfected, there was one man who broke every rule. His name was Altaïr Ibn-La'Ahad, and this is the story of how he fell and rebuilt the Assassin Brotherhood from nothing. The story takes place during the Third Crusade, a brutal war between Christians and Muslims for control of the Holy Land. Cities like Jerusalem, Acre, Damascus were filled with chaos, violence, and political tension. But behind the war, there was something deeper, a hidden conflict between two secret groups: the Assassins, who fight for freedom, the Templars, who seek control through order. And Altaïr, he was supposed to be the best assassin of them all. At the beginning of the game, Altaïr is arrogant. He breaks all 3 rules of the Assassin's Creed. Stay your blade from the flesh of the innocent. Hide in plain sight. Never compromise the Brotherhood. During a mission at Solomon's Temple, Altaïr ignores his team, rushes in, and fails. This leads to the death of a fellow assassin and the loss of a powerful artifact. Because of this, Al-Mualim strips him of his rank. Altaïr goes from master assassin to nothing. This is where the real story begins. Altaïr's journey is not about revenge. It's about growth. Each assassination he completes teaches him something new. At first, he sees targets as evil, but slowly that changes. Every target he kills reveals a truth. Not all enemies are wrong. Not all assassins are right. Altaïr begins to question everything, including his mentor, Al-Mualim. This is what makes Altaïr different from later assassins like Ezio. He doesn't start as a hero. He becomes one through failure, reflection, and truth. But to truly understand Altaïr's story, you have to understand the world he lived in. The events of Assassin's Creed take place during one of the most violent conflicts in history, the Third Crusade. This wasn't just a war. It was a clash of ideologies, religions, and empires. On one side, the Christian forces led by kings like Richard the Lionheart. On the other, the Muslim armies united under Saladin. But here's where Assassin's Creed becomes more than just a game. Because hidden beneath this real, historical war was a fictional, but deeply philosophical conflict. A war, not for land, but for humanity itself. 2 factions, 2 beliefs, 2 completely different visions of the future. The Assassins. The Assassin Brotherhood believes in one core idea: freedom above all. They fight for free will, the right for humanity to choose its own path, even if that freedom leads to chaos, even if it leads to suffering, because to them, control is worse than disorder. The Templars. The Templars believe the opposite: peace through control. They see humanity as flawed, violent, self-destructive, and their solution? Control everything, guide humanity, remove choice to create order. This is what makes Assassin's Creed powerful. It's not good versus evil. It's freedom versus control. The Assassins risk chaos for liberty. The Templars sacrifice liberty for peace. And here's the twist. Both sides are right, and both sides are dangerous. At the center of this conflict is something far more powerful than any army: the Apple of Eden, an ancient artifact created by a precursor civilization known as the ISU. And its power? Terrifying. What makes Assassin's Creed powerful is how it blends fiction with real history. You encounter real figures like Richard the Lionheart, leader of the Crusaders; Saladin, one of history's greatest commanders. These weren't just background characters. They represent the 2 sides of the war. But here's the twist. The game doesn't say one side is good and the other is evil. Instead, it shows that both sides believe they are right. And Altaïr is caught in the middle of it all. Everything builds up to one moment. Altaïr confronts his mentor, Al-Mualim, and discovers the truth. The artifact, the Apple of Eden, was never just a weapon. It was a tool for control. Al-Mualim planned to use it to control humanity. Just like the Templars, this is the biggest turning point. Altaïr realizes the assassins are not immune to corruption, so he does the unthinkable. He kills his own mentor, not for power, but to protect free will. After defeating Al-Mualim, Altaïr doesn't just reclaim his rank. He changes the Brotherhood forever. He removes traditions that held them back. He studies the apple, not to control, but to understand. He becomes the foundation of everything the assassins will become. Without Altaïr, there is no Ezio, no Creed as we know it. Altaïr started as a man blinded by pride, but ended as the man who gave the assassins their true purpose. Not revenge, not power, but freedom. And that's why he's not just the first assassin we played. He's the most important one.